guys, welcome back to another episode of the No One to Tell Us No podcast, a podcast where we share our life experiences and adventures and truly live life like there's no one to tell us no. I'm Courtney, and with me is my husband and holiday buddy, Charlie.
Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. Today we're going to be talking about all things Walt Disney World during the holiday season. So we'll talk about the 4 different parks and things that we did and some food that we tried. So it's going to be a good time talking about that and reminiscing on what we did this holiday season and maybe help share some ideas if you want to come down here and visit on your next holiday trip to Walt Disney World.
Grab your fat pants because we're going to talk a lot about the food.
So for you, Courtney, what is like the epitome of Christmas at Disney World? Okay. Well, like what park just speaks like it's Christmas?
I would say for me, it's your initial like getting into Magic Kingdom and seeing the tree and the decorations and things like that at Main Street, and just seeing the castle, and it just screams magic because it's the most magical place on earth.
Yeah, I feel like when you're like growing up, when you have this vision of Christmas, that's like what they invoke and have displayed at the Magic Kingdom. Like when you walk in, like you said, the Christmas tree and like the main street and all the old school lights and decorations.
And like the garland and the wreaths, and they decorate their window displays, and it's just very nostalgic. And I love that vibe.
Yeah, I think if you think of Disney World at Christmas, like the promos and the commercials and all the advertisements are showing like the parade going right down Main Street and the snow falling, not real snow, but snow made out of soap.
Yeah. And just
Florida snow.
The music and just everything. They pump in some smells. It's great.
Now, I will say, I know for a fact that Magic Kingdom used to go like even crazier during the holidays. And I wish they would do that now. I feel like it's there, it's good, but I feel like it could be more. Like, give us more. We want more.
Yes.
And I wonder, and this goes for all 4 parks, and I think maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but my theory is the reason why they don't go ham with Christmas decorations is that people that are coming here for their once-in-a-lifetime vacation don't want all their pictures to have Christmas stuff in it. That's a theory of mine. But if you're traveling around Christmas, you gotta know.
You have to expect that things are going to be decorated.
Yeah. So like, I want you to go overboard everywhere. I want you to theme things that you don't think should be themed Christmas. Like, just decorate it all.
Theme the bathrooms.
So like, I know like from seeing pictures years ago and then going years ago, like 10, 15 plus years ago, that it used to be more intense decorations, and they've kind of scaled it back now, which, you know, it's still good decorations across the 4 theme parks. I just wish it was more.
You know, I think they probably put more or a little bit more energy into their Christmas party that you have to pay a little bit more for. So you kind of get that more Christmas immersiveness when you go to the party. But if you're just going for a day trip to the park,
I mean, you could be right in some sense, but like the decorations are there. They can't like go put up decorations.
Just like the food or like the extra holiday magic, like the parade and extra lights or something. Just things like that.
I just more of wanted to like continue throughout the park. I just feel like there's, and this is all 4 parks, I feel like there's dull spots. Like, it's Christmas and then it's not, and then you go back into it and it's like, just continue it.
Yeah.
Like, don't make these dead spots without Christmas lights. Just go everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, a little bit more in depth about Magic Kingdom. I know we were talking about that's like the quintessential like Disney park during the holidays. It feels the most festive and whatnot. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So we kind of already talked a little bit about the decor, but I do like that each of the lands in Magic Kingdom, they kind of have their own theming as far as holiday decor. Like Frontierland, it has like Western garland themes, like with cowboy boots and horseshoes.
See, this
And
is one of the lands that they could really
they
go
really
all out, like
could.
even more. Like there's a little bit, like there's some garland and white lap,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, y'all, this is like old America.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have
Like, go
endless
for it.
possibilities. Yeah. And there's like some whimsical stuff throughout, like, the Country Bear Jamboree and things like that where you could do it up.
And they also have like the Liberty Square area that literally is like
Colonial.
colonial America with the Christmas shop
Yeah.
in that area.
And I just wish in that area we could do like an overlay of the Haunted Mansion, like out in Disneyland.
Yes, I love that when
Like,
we went
why
and saw
not?
it.
You're doing it over there, do it over here. But
Yeah.
I don't know all the reasons in and out why, but the decorations are fun to walk around and see. Like
Yeah.
I hinted at earlier, I just
Hmm.
wish it was more.
Yeah. More.
Yes.
But yeah, so like Frontierland has their own thing. Tomorrowland, they kind of do more of a quote unquote futuristic style with their
A lot of like
decor.
silver and tinsel, and it's like
Yeah.
retro Christmas in a way. It's not
Hmm.
future Christmas anymore. It's like what we thought Christmas future would be like 50 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they have like a dance party that goes on at nighttime.
Yeah. Fantasyland, they have some garland and they decorate their little light poles. And we did see a couple of little trees around like the Winnie the Pooh area and the mine train roller coaster, but not too much going
It's just
on.
sporadic
Yeah.
throughout. A lot of the decorations concentrate at the beginning of the park.
Hmm.
So like Main Street
Yeah.
and that so like Main Street and the entrance to the park, that's where you're going to find the majority of all of it.
And unfortunately, that's also the busiest area of the park because people all want to get their pictures in front of the castle and down Main Street.
And it's understandable.
Yeah.
And at nights they'll turn on the snow machines and have that atmosphere of everything happening and making it feel like it's snowing. But overall, when you walk into Magic Kingdom, I do like the feeling at Christmas time with the music playing and everything. It's very nostalgic. It kind of that whimsy Christmas feeling.
Mm-hmm. And especially if you do go for your like once in a lifetime trip around the holidays, it kind of is that. I know this is kind of cliche sounding, but those like videos where like the girls see the castle and they start crying and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it really does sometimes get emotional for some people. It's like, wow, I'm here. I made it. We did this. And they really do it up.
I wish one thing that they would bring back, and I know a lot of other Disney fans that have gone for a while would agree with this, is the dream lights on the castle. Did you ever get to see those?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think they stopped that. I wonder if it has to do with the castle projections that they do for the fireworks show. I don't know if that messes it up in some way, doesn't make them as clear, but it used to be cool that they basically draped the entire Cinderella castle with lights, and they called it the dream lights.
Yeah.
And it made it just look
that
extra.
much more magical.
Yeah. It was really cool looking.
Yeah.
But I will mention that Magic Kingdom does have a holiday party. It's a separately ticketed event called Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Yeah. I kind of alluded to it at the beginning of this conversation, but yeah, they have their own Christmas party.
Same as the Halloween party back in the Halloween season, except this is Christmas. They do a little bit different things. We didn't actually go to it this year. We've been to it before 2 years ago in 2023, but we're really not going to dig too much into that. Like you kind of alluded to, they add some more food items. They do some ride overlays and have some specialty characters and have some special shows throughout that. But maybe next year we'll go, or sometime in the future.
Yeah.
We'll go to that. But we want to talk a little bit more about Magic Kingdom and what they have on non-party days and nights.
So you don't need a holiday party ticket to go and see these things.
And they still have some stuff for the holiday season that doesn't require that party ticket.
Yeah.
And so we managed to go do quite a few of those things. Well, I think one of our favorite things is the Jingle Cruise ride overlay.
Yeah. That's a fun little overlay because they decorate the queue line with different holiday decorations that you would see on a jungle cruise.
It's like the
They
skippers have made them.
Yeah, they are all wearing their like Santa hats. They have put some decorations and things throughout the ride. If you've ever ridden it before, it's kind of primarily in that tunnel that you go through.
The Jingle Cruise is an overlay for the Jungle Cruise, if
Yes.
that wasn't understood. So if you've ever been on the Jungle Cruise, it's a nice, fun, punny attraction.
Mhm.
They just put like a Christmas twist on it with this.
Yeah.
And so the jokes are different. They add
Mhm.
some decorations throughout the ride. It's just a good time.
Yeah, it's very punny, like you said. I really like this ride, and I hate that not a lot of people will egg on their skipper.
I think since me and you are like pass holders and we live down here and we go on that ride maybe more often than some people, we tend to be those two that are like saying stuff through the ride or like
Mhm.
commenting with the skipper and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Why everybody else that's on their vacation and they've ridden this the first time, they're like, "Oh, I'm supposed to sit here and be quiet." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
get involved. It makes it more
Yeah.
fun." Like yell stuff.
Yeah, like one of the jokes that we had a skipper for, she made a joke about elephants and how good their memory is, but she kept making that joke throughout the ride. And at the end, we were waiting for our boat to dock again, and she was like, where's everybody from? And just kind of, chatting it up. And then she asked what everyone's favorite animal was. And I know you yelled elephant, and she was able to play off of that, and she knew exactly where you were coming from with that. So she made the joke another time and maybe one more before we even docked.
Yeah, if you get a good skipper, they're very good at improving
Mhm.
essentially. The ones that have been there for a while definitely have a lot of practice.
Mhm. Yep.
But that's a fun overlay. It's always fun to just go to that at least once or twice during the holiday season
Because
before it
no
goes
two
back
rides
on.
are exactly the same,
Oh yeah.
because they all have different jokes that they do and different little comments they'll make. It's a really cool little ride.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. And another one I honorable mentioned, I guess, is the Tomorrowland Speedway, because they have little light displays throughout. I'll be honest, we haven't ridden this ride in, gosh, years, if ever.
Yeah.
And uh,
They kind of have like
yeah.
light displays. I mean, a little bit more elevated than like yard light displays. Like,
Hmm.
of course, it's Disney. It's a little bit better than that. But we
There's some very fancy yard displays
Oh,
out there nowadays.
that's true. But you kind of drive by like in your little car and you
Yeah.
see like all the Christmas decorations, and I think they're playing Christmas music. But I think we've seen it once, and I'm like, okay, like it's not a
Yeah.
thing that like I want to repeat. I'm not a big fan of the Speedway just because it's not the most comfortable thing
No.
to
They also need to
ride.
change the gas or diesel cars to electric.
Yeah,
I
it would
feel
be
like
more
they need to update
futuristic.
that.
It would be futuristic that way.
So I'm petty and I like boycott going on that ride just because I'm like, it needs to be electric at the very least now,
But in regards to overlays, unfortunately, that's like all there is
unless you
during the
go to a
holiday season.
party. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're got the party ticket, can go to that. But at least you get those two.
Oh, I did forget one other, I guess, quote unquote, honorable mention is the Carousel of Progress. It's, I guess, not really a ride, it's more of a show.
They have the Christmas scene at the end, so it's a Christmas ride.
If you want to count it as that.
We count it as a Christmas ride.
Yeah.
When we go and we do our like, let's go on all the holiday rides, we go on that because it
Yeah.
does have the Christmas scene at the end.
Yeah. That's
It's
true.
always there, but still.
Yeah. And they did, I guess, update that one, gosh, a few years ago, I want to
I think they
say.
did like a little refresh. The
A little
lights look
retouch.
better, things look a little, lighting looks better, and things look a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fun. Oh, we forgot to mention that while strolling around the park and looking at all the decorations, you can also meet Santa
Mm-hmm.
back in Storybook Circus, where they also decorate and everything. And I
Yeah.
know back there they might have some other holiday activities where you can like let your kids write a letter to Santa and things like that. And they have some other little entertainment offerings related to the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's not exclusive to the party. That's also during the day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stop you from meeting Santa.
No, you can meet Santa if you're just a day guest.
You get to meet Santa everywhere. He's all over the place. I don't know
Hmm.
how he does it.
I know, just travels, like apparates,
Yeah.
like Harry Potter.
Poof, I'm here. Poof, I'm there. But obviously, one of the fun things to do is to try the limited edition food that's offered
Hmm.
around the different times of the year.
Yes.
And the holiday season is no different with all the holiday food. I think one of my favorite times of the year for food is the holidays. I don't know why. Like all the sweets and all the savory items that places and people have for traditional meals. And so it's just fun to have those.
I
I
also
don't know.
feel like around the holidays, it's kind of like a judgment free time period where you can just eat whatever, however much you want, and nobody or majority of people are not going to judge you because it's the holidays. Calories don't count.
I mean, I start to judge myself towards the end because I'm like, I've eaten a lot of cookies.
Well, I can't help you there, but overall, I think in general, it's just a time where everybody is just on the same page of like, just eat what you want. You'll work it off later. That's what the new year is for.
Yeah, New Year's resolution. But
That's why Planet Fitness is always busy on the 2nd of January.
but for the holiday food offerings at Magic Kingdom, again, this is not during the party. This is available all the time during the holiday season. They had a few options. We didn't try all of them. We tried 3 out of those options. And the first one was quite surprising. It was very tropical and refreshing. It was at Aloha Isle where they served the infamous Dole Whip and Dole Whip floats. This was called the Santa Surf Shack Float. It is made with passion fruit, orange guava juice, coconut soft serve, and a spiced pineapple tree pop. That spiced pineapple tree pop was like a cake pop, so like stuck in the side as a little like garnish, enough for like 2.5 bites. So we
Yeah.
each had a bite. It's actually nice little pineapple cake in a
Yeah.
way, coated in chocolate. But I really enjoyed this one.
Mhm.
I didn't think I wanted to get it at first, and then I was like, you know what, let's just go for it. It
Listen,
was
for
really good.
me, if you put pog juice with anything, I'm sold.
And Pog juice is the passion fruit, orange, and guava.
Yeah.
Short Pog.
Yes, it is so good and just goes well with any drink that you could imagine.
Well, especially that coconut soft serve.
Because you have the creaminess from the coconut, but then more of like the acidity and citrus flavors from the pog juice. It was just a perfect, creamy, sweet, but not overly sweet drink. And it was non alcoholic, so even kids can drink it. It was great.
I don't
Loved
think
it.
we even drank it. I think we just ate it with a
Yeah.
spoon.
It kind of turned more into like a sundae for us.
Yeah. Basically, they fill the cup with the coconut soft serve, and then they pour the Pog juice over the top of it. So it kind of is like that
Yep.
float way.
Yep. And then the next thing that we got was from the Columbia Harbor House. It was the gingerbread cake.
And this is one
And
of our favorites. We had this last year,
yeah.
and we were like, we're getting this again.
I want to say this is probably going to be like a traditional thing
I
that
hope
we
they
do.
I hope they don't get rid of this. Like when we got it last year, we were just trying a couple different treats, and you wanted to get this one, and I took a bite, and I was like, I'm getting my own.
Yep.
And I walked right back inside and got my own.
Yep.
So we did that exact same thing this year. We put our mobile order in. We're like, we're doing 2.
Yeah.
Forget the sharing.
But this one, it's a tree-shaped gingerbread chiffon cake with cream cheese frosting, whipped dulce de leche panna cotta, crispy pearls, and a chocolate piece. So
it's basically you turn gingerbread cookie into a cake with the buttercream frosting, and it's so moist.
mm-hmm.
It is so good. There's something about it. I know, like when you were just reading the description, I was like, if you would have not told me gingerbread cake and you just read the description, I would have been like,
yeah.
But trust us, you gotta eat it.
It is so good. Definitely worth going and getting it at least once, maybe twice.
It's kind of one of those desserts where you kind of get it and then you get yourself in a little like this like secluded area and you're just like, leave me alone.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy this.
I want to say this is one of probably my top like 3 desserts on all of Disney property around the holidays.
Yeah, and
I would
maybe
say.
even not during the holidays.
Yeah,
That's how good it
I
is.
know. It's good. It's good.
And the last but not least one was the gingerbread cookie shaped like Mickey from the Main Street Confectionery.
Yeah.
This was your classic gingerbread cookie, it's Mickey shaped, but then the top, like the ear portion, was dipped in chocolate and made
Hmm.
it look like I believe it was like a Santa hat
Yeah.
and had like some like Christmas lights maybe on it. But this was actually surprising. Normally, things from the confectionery are very mass produced, and I think I've had a couple of things from there in the past, and I'm not impressed. But we got this because I really do like gingerbread. It's one of my
Hmm.
favorite cookies, and I only like to eat gingerbread around the holidays
Yeah.
because I think it's one of those flavors that if you ate it all the time, you could get kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
Unlike a chocolate chip cookie, I could eat that all the time.
Oh yeah.
But gingerbread cookie, I like save for that month and a half time frame around the holidays.
Similar to like how pumpkin is like reserved for like
Yeah,
Halloween.
you could get real tired of it easily. But we got this. It was actually surprisingly really good. It was soft. It was kind of fluffy,
A
and it
little
had
bit more
an
on like the dense side. It was more of a not traditional like in the sense of European traditional, but more of like it was it was a thick boy. It
yeah, it
was
was thick. It wasn't crunchy. It was
no
soft and like soft and
chewy.
dense and chewy. I like gingerbread like that. I'm
Hmm.
not a fan of like the crunchy gingerbread.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but this is better. I like a soft cookie.
Yeah.
The chocolate added a little bit more to it,
Yeah.
but it still would have been good without the chocolate,
I will
which is
say
good.
it wasn't as moist as maybe I like my
No,
gingerbread.
and I think that's the fact of it coming from the confectionery, maybe being mass produced. It might have not been made like that day,
Mm.
something like that. But overall, was still pleasantly surprised by
Yeah.
the flavor of that one.
Yeah. Had solid gingerbread flavoring. The spices in it were not too overpowering. Definitely big enough to share between at least two
Oh
people.
yeah, it's one of these big Mickey shaped cookies.
Yeah.
It was your classic gingerbread flavor cookie. Like if you want a
Hmm.
simple gingerbread cookie and you've never had it before,
Yeah.
that's your like that's kind of like your almost standard in a way. It's
Mm.
probably more Americanized than anything. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to say about it was we were on the hunt this year to try all the gingerbread cookies on
Or as
property.
many as we could try.
Pretty much, we're on track. We've got a couple more to try all of them that were available. Now, there's a few of them that we're not trying because they're like gluten free and allergy friendly, and I'm kind of sticking more towards like this has got to be a classic gingerbread
Hmm.
cookie, not a ginger snap
Yeah.
because some of those have been offered, but
Yeah.
just a gingerbread cookie. If it's labeled as that, we're trying it, and we're kind of like, who's got the best gingerbread cookie on property?
Yeah. And we are getting ones that are from different locations that have different ingredients or different recipes of how they make their gingerbread.
Yeah, so
So we're
like
not,
this one that we're talking about right now from the confectionery is also offered at Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios and at some of the hotels.
yeah.
And the reason why that is because Disney has these like general candy shops or sweet treat shops, and they mass produce this stuff and then they ship it out to all these different ones. So you
Right.
could get the same thing at those locations that I just mentioned. So we didn't like try the same cookie at Animal Kingdom. We got something totally different.
Right.
So this was the only time we tried this one, even though it's offered at multiple other locations.
So speaking of Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom is always gorgeous for the
I really
holidays.
like Animal Kingdom around the holidays. It's so unique.
Yeah.
It's the upcycled holiday
It
at Animal
really
Kingdom.
is. Like when you first walk in, their tree is before you scan your ticket. It's kind of in between security and where you scan your ticket. And so it has very homemade ornaments on it, homemade, quote unquote, homemade gifts under the tree. But all of the gifts under the tree kind of have like an animal theme to it.
And some of them are Disney characters.
Yeah. And within the tree, it has like stars made of sticks and leather and masks from different animals and just very
They try to make
very unique.
they tried to make all the ornaments look like somebody made them by hand and used it as decorations, which is really cool instead of like, oh, we bought this bauble from the store and put it on the tree. So that's what we mean by unique. And all over the park, it's unique like that. And they recycle a lot of stuff.
And it kind of goes along with their message of conservation to reduce, reuse, recycle. And I just love that. I love that message.
Yeah. And throughout the park, you can see so many decorations that are basically recycled or upcycled, whatever the term you want to use. So there were like wreaths made out of bottle caps. So like they were like a wire frame and they added the soda bottle caps or beer bottle caps all over to make, different designs and the shape of the wreath and whatnot. And then there are these Christmas trees.
We called them like trash trees.
Yeah, trash trees. They were basically like somebody went to a trash dump, picked out like tires and bicycle wheels and stuff like that, and like made the shape of a tree and then added some different ornaments made out of other trash.
Yeah.
Really fun to just look at. I think a lot of the people that are there won't take the time to look at the stuff, but since we make the point of going out and just looking at the Christmas decorations and the Christmas stuff, we tend to take our time and kind of look at it a little bit more, which is fun.
Yeah. And they also will have like lights and projections throughout the park. In Dino Land, they had lights all strung up on their Restaurantosaurus restaurant.
And this will be the last year to see that.
I know.
Because it's going away. No Christmas dinosaurs anymore.
Sad day.
But I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah. But they had some really cute stuff. They also had like their characters like Donald and Daisy and the Chipmunks out there dressed in like their holiday Dino Land attire. And it was just very cute. And then they also have in Pandora, they have some lights and they have that big robot looking thing dressed as like Santa. I can never remember what it's called, but it's the big robot thing that they used
right
in
front of that bar.
Yep.
I don't remember the name of it, but
near Satuli Canteen.
Yeah.
So
there's not much in Pandora, which makes sense, but they kind of put it over there because it was human made from Earth. And so it's kind of like, oh, the humans brought Christmas to Pandora, and so they kind of keep that secluded over there.
Yeah.
I don't think Pandora needs to be decorated for Christmas.
No, it's like already gorgeous enough with it being very like iridescent, glow in the dark, quiet with like the animal sounds and stuff. But that area is always very pretty.
Something that they added a few years ago, I'm actually not sure how long it's been there, but when you enter the park and you're coming up on the Tree of Life, they have what's called the Merry Menagerie.
Oh, yeah.
Happening at various times throughout the day. And it's basically like puppeteers with
Arctic animals.
Like snow-related animals. There's deer, penguins, a polar bear.
There's like birds that they have that on like big tall sticks that they'll like kind of swoop down and like kind of mess with like the kids a little bit.
That little Arctic fox.
Oh yeah.
We might be forgetting some, but it's nice to see. And the puppeteers are like dressed up to kind of match the animal that they're portraying. And they do a really good job. These are very intricate puppets. They're not like a sock puppet or something like that. But very well designed. And it is more for the kids. Like they'll like kind of get on the level of the small children, and the kids will like pet the puppets and whatnot. There's also a live violinist that's playing like Christmas tunes while everyone's out and about. It can tend to get a little crowded around that area. Yeah. But catch a glimpse of them as you're walking by, or stop if you have some kids and let them have a look. It's always fun. They do a really good job of acting and like the animal and puppeting, whatever the terminology for that is, with puppets. They do a really good job. They look like they're having fun. When they do that.
They really embody the animal that they are. And honestly, first glance, you'd be like, oh my gosh, there's a polar bear. But then you have to kind of take a second glance and you're like, oh, that is a human.
I mean, like you said, they really get into it. Like, I mean, some of the things that they're doing, I'm like, my back would hurt if I was out there for that long.
Oh, yeah.
Doing that.
And one of the other, I guess you could call it decor or like shows that they have is on the Tree of Life. Instead of them, like I said, having a tree inside the park like all the other three parks
There's
do.
already a big tree established there for
Yeah,
me.
literally the Tree of Life. They do a little projection show on the Tree of Life.
And again, this is kind of like a holiday version of it. They have their traditional projection show called the Tree of Life Awakenings.
Yes.
But this one's the Holiday Tree of Life Awakenings.
Yep. So it kind of follows different little snow animals.
Well, they're the animals from the Merry Menagerie.
Right. Yeah. So they follow the different snow animals in little quick, maybe 5-minute little segments.
There's 3 total.
Yeah. And they do like a little quick little story projection, and then it kind of doles down for about 5 minutes, and then there's the second one, and then so on and so forth. But it's very cute to stand and watch if you have the time for, I would say, give it a solid 20 or 30 minutes. Like maybe not even, but just to give yourself time.
The projections are so clear too. I think they're continuously like updating technology and their projectors and whatnot. Like you're far away from that tree and it is very clear.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. So, one of the other decorations that they have that I really like, I don't know why I like this so much, and it's not that big of a deal, but around that main area where the Merry Menagerie happens, up on top of the buildings, they have like the paper lanterns.
Oh yeah, the luminaries.
Yeah, luminaries. That's what they're called. So the classic luminary style that people might put on their like driveway of the paper bag with the candle inside, and there's like a shape or a design on the bag. Obviously, these aren't paper, but they're made to look like it. But they're all over the top of the building, and they have the different animals on them. It's just a fun little touch that you might miss if you're not paying attention to it.
Now, for this park, I don't remember there being any kind of ride overlays that have any kind of holiday theming.
No ride overlays. The closest thing that you could get would be the Yeti.
Yeah.
You're on a snowy mountain.
I guess so.
I don't really count that one.
Yeah.
If you want to be like, let's go ride the snow mountain ride. There's a big snow monster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess so, but I mean, you can ride that throughout the year. Kind of like how Carousel Progress is the same throughout the year.
But there's no true holiday.
No.
Which, thinking about it, I don't
think they need that. I don't think they need it.
Or you could really do it and make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than put a little Santa hat on the Yeti animatronic.
You can barely see it. You go by and blink of an eye and be like, what was that?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think they really try to stick to what's natural and what's occurring in nature. And I'm like, as much as we want to think they do, I mean, animals in nature aren't celebrating Christmas like the way we are, so I don't think it's going to be like, let's go on a safari ride and they have a Christmas tree and present like that. It wouldn't make sense.
No,
especially if they're really trying to stick to the theming of this is natural, which is real, things like that.
I will say in some of the animal enclosures, the animal keepers will provide the different animals with
enrichment.
Yes. With an enrichment
toy or
treat, something that is maybe themed for the holiday season, but that's not like a planned thing that you should do.
You might walk up on it and see like the tiger playing with like a Christmas toy-esque thing.
But that's probably the closest that you'll get.
Which is totally fine. Like we said, it's understandable.
Yes.
But we did go again and try some holiday
Food.
treats, sweet treats.
Yes, treat yourself. So we got from Flame Tree Barbecue, we got a cranberry cherry cheesecake pop. Say that 10 times fast. This had white chocolate cheesecake with cranberry cherry swirl dipped in dark chocolate with a cookie crust. So it kind of looked like a little chocolate Christmas tree on a little popsicle stick.
Yeah.
It was really good. I liked it. A little messy. Probably, honestly, don't really need the popsicle stick because when you put something on a popsicle stick, it's made so that you can just eat it one-handed and kind of keep going. Yeah. This is not the case. You definitely need the plate, fork, and napkins because the cheesecake can, not that it melts or anything, but it's more messy than what I was anticipating.
I mean, essentially, it was a chocolate covered cheesecake, and the chocolate was like a hardened shell.
Yeah.
It was served cold or cool, and overall it was good. I like the tartness from the cranberries
Yeah.
in the cheesecake. The cheesecake was very creamy, not as dense as like a typical like cheesecake.
Yeah.
It was almost like a cheesecake custard flavoring in a way.
Almost gave like mousse vibes.
Yeah, but a little thicker than
Yeah.
that. But with that tartness of the cranberry, it didn't make it as like super sweet.
Mm-mm.
And the chocolate just added, an extra enhancement. Just like, if you were to drizzle chocolate on top of a
Yeah.
cheesecake. It was a pretty good dessert. If they had it again, probably wouldn't get it. I'm really glad I tried it because it was unique. It was nice and cute looking and whatnot. But it was probably a one and done for me. I would
Yeah.
say if you're interested in trying it, give it a go.
Maybe they'll have it next year. And the other thing we got from Animal Kingdom, we don't typically get things from like Starbucks locations because, again, we're not big coffee drinkers. The Starbucks locations tend to not really have unique items that basically you can find at any other Starbucks.
But the Starbucks
this
in
one,
Disney is a little bit different.
yeah.
The Starbucks at all the Disney parks will have some unique treat offerings that can only be found at the Disney park.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure who's making the treats. I'm not sure if it's Disney chefs making the treats or it's Starbucks making the treats, but you kind of get a little specialty Disney treat
Mm-hmm.
at the Starbucks locations.
Yeah.
And this one was no different. This one was at Creature Comforts. It was a peppermint ganache brownie. This was a fudge brownie topped with peppermint white chocolate ganache and peppermint pieces.
And I know that you're not a big peppermint person. So what did you think about this?
Peppermint is fine. If you hand me a peppermint, like you're going to have a little candy cane or like a peppermint, it's fine. Or like even a chocolate covered peppermint, like at the end of dinner or something. But I'm not a big fan on like spoonfuls of peppermint flavored things that I'm eating for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never been a fan of that. Like I like the flavoring, but for me, a bite is enough. But like a continuous thing is like, oh, I'm eating a bunch of toothpaste. And I know toothpaste isn't peppermint flavored per se. Toothpaste is more like spearmint, but it's still it's the feeling.
It gives the same minty.
I know this might be too much information, but one of the things that bothers me is that like I'll like burp like throughout the day, like hours later, I'm like, there's peppermint.
Still having peppermint.
And I'm like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But
I don't need to live in peppermint world.
But before I let you talk about it, I will say this was an overall good brownie. A little too much pepperminty for me, but the brownie was nice and dense and chewy, which is my type of brownie. It was a good brownie. I'm glad I gave it a try. Not going to get it again because I'm not a peppermint fan, but I think if you like this flavor, it is really good.
Yeah. And for me, this was pretty good, pretty run of the mill brownie. Like it wasn't bad or anything, but it was, like you said, chocolatey, chewy. I am okay with peppermint in my desserts, so this was pretty good for me.
But you do have a level. Like
I
think
do.
you're like, okay, this is too.
Yeah. Like I can't just do a straight up like peppermint dessert without there being some kind of other flavor to counteract or balance it out. But I enjoyed this. It was a hit for me. I don't know if I'm running back to get it again, but I wouldn't hate to get this again. Yeah. If that makes sense.
And the last thing that we got was another gingerbread cookie.
Yay.
From Restaurantosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this won't be here next year, so I don't know if it'll come back. But this was a typical gingerbread cookie shaped like a gingerbread man. It was good. If I'm comparing it to the Magic Kingdom one, this was a little bit lower on the ranking scale.
I agree with that.
And that still wasn't bad. It was still your like classic gingerbread like flavor. I think it could have been more gingerbready flavory.
Yeah. This one to me, I remember it being more dry than the.
This one wasn't made by Disney because it was in a package and it said, I can't remember the name of whatever it came from, but it was right next to where you can meet Santa. And we were on our quest to try all the gingerbread, so we tried it.
Yep.
One of the lower ranking ones that we did have.
Yeah, not my favorite.
But overall, Animal Kingdom's fun around the holidays. You still have your normal Animal Kingdom stuff that you get to enjoy, but the added holiday things make it a little bit more festive. And
Yeah.
again, like I said at the beginning of this, it's unique because it's not your typical holiday decorations.
And I feel like Animal Kingdom around the holidays doesn't get as much love as the other three
No,
parks.
because there's not as much stuff. There's not a
No.
party. There's not, you know.
Yeah. But I do feel like it is worth seeing the tree and, well, multiple trees, the Tree of Life show and the tree outside. And I think the decorations for me are very nice for what it
What
is.
is nice about this time of the year, the Animal Kingdom does stay open quite a bit later
It
than they normally
does.
do. Normally, I feel like the average time they close is about 6. Now, this time of year, they're closing at like 8. I think it has to do with the Tree of Life Awakenings and some of the holiday offerings, but I'm not quite sure why they change it up.
You would think they would stay open later during the summer because there's more daylight, but
Yeah, and it gets darker earlier, so I'm not sure, but you get that added benefit.
yeah.
And I know when it gets like 6 o'clock and into 7 o'clock, the ride times go down to like nothing.
Yeah.
So you could like benefit from just going to Animal Kingdom one night during the holidays, being able to almost walk on everything.
Mm-hmm.
But enough about Animal Kingdom. You know, talk about Hollywood Studios.
Yes. Hollywood Studios, I would say, is my favorite park for decorations.
I would have to agree with that.
Everywhere you turn, with the exception of probably the Star Wars area, there is some kind of decoration, whether it's on the light post with the tinsel or the little statues of like the poodles and the deer and the little candy cane children. Toy Story Land has the Santa Buzz as a character. They decorate Woody in a
I
scarf.
thought you said something different a minute ago. I thought you said Santa Butt. I was like, what is that?
Santa Buzz.
Like Buzz Lightyear. It's like, what?
But yeah, so like they decorate the whole park. So if you are someone who wants decorations as part of your pictures, as part of your experience, Hollywood Studios is where it's going to be.
Even though we said Magic Kingdom was like quintessential Disney Christmas, I would say Hollywood Studios is that like old school feel.
Vintage 40s, 50s.
You got like the blow mold looks, and you
Mhm.
got like the more soft colored lights, white and colored lights instead of like the LED
Yeah.
whiteness brightness. And it's all that feeling like Christmas baubles and other the little displays that they have just feel like in my mind that's what like old school like Christmas feels like.
Mhm. Yeah, when everything was a fire hazard.
Basically. And they're like Frank Sinatra style Christmas music
Mhm.
playing and like jazzy Christmas music.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe.
Mhm.
Old Hollywood.
Yeah. It's very vintage, retro. I just love it. There's also Santa Gertie on the lake that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Gertie is a dinosaur.
Little Santa hat on Gertie. It's a ice cream full stop.
But
but
it's a dinosaur statue. And if
yeah.
you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Santa Gertie.
Yeah.
And you'll understand.
Yeah. Now their tree or their main tree is kind of in the middle of that lake near Santa Gertie, and we actually were able to see their tree lighting ceremony.
Yeah, that was a fun little one.
Yeah.
I have a little clip of that on our Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And that their tree is very classic with the baubles and kind of like what we've already said, like the tinsel and warm lights, things like that.
I'm a big fan of warm colored lights. Like
Mm,
I want to see like the variations of colors, but like the
yes.
warm.
Yes.
That's my favorite strand of Christmas light.
I agree. I agree. I think everybody is on that train nowadays because I feel like, again, not to get too sidetracked, but it started as like the 90s of our childhood of warm, colorful lights, classic colored Christmas stuff. And then it transitioned, I feel like, in the 2000s to 2010s to the LED
Well, I
blue
feel like
lights.
they made the
Icy.
LED lights one safer, more energy efficient, but then as technology advanced, then they figured out how to make warm colored LED lights.
Yeah.
So we can have that now. So we had to
Mhm.
progress in technology
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get to what we wanted.
Had to walk before we could run. But so Anyways, but yeah, and I already mentioned Toy Story Land, but they also have on the Slinky Dog ride, they have Jessie. I think she's wearing a Santa hat, or is it Rex wearing a Santa
Rex is
hat?
wearing antlers,
Okay, yep,
like a reindeer.
yep,
It's a
and
dinosaur reindeer.
yep. And then they might say like little things like "Happy Holidays"
Yeah, they've got
and
different Christmas phrases that they're saying.
yep.
The roller coaster train car, I believe, lights up in green and red, if I'm not mistaken. I
Yes.
do know for a fact that while it comes by, it has jingle bell
Oh
noises.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
it's a
really
little
cute.
overlay right there.
And then they have like these bigger like statue looking things of what are meant to be like sugar cookies.
Well, you're a size of a toy,
Right.
so somebody dropped a regular size cookie
True.
in the yard or in the play set
Yeah.
or a regular size ornament, but it looks giant.
Right. So,
So
but yeah, so there's lots of little fun photo op areas that you can take pictures in front of or with these, to us, giant cookies, but as a toy, it's a regular size cookie.
they're missing the opportunity to sell the ham cookie like
Yeah.
in normal form.
Yeah.
Like just make a buttered ham cookie. People will buy it. They make the Santa Gertie cookie during the party. Make the ham cookie that you have set up. I mean, that would be a good one. Speaking of the party, we didn't go to it this year. We have been to it in the past, 2 years ago, but they do have a separated ticketed holiday party event at Hollywood Studios called Jollywood Nights. And that's a really fun one. I really enjoyed that the year that we went. We actually went the very first year.
Yeah, the inaugural year.
Yeah. And I would say in comparison to the Magic Kingdom Christmas party, Jollywood Nights is a little more like on the adult side, not like adult themed, but more activities and food that I don't think kids would, not saying kids wouldn't like, but adults would like more.
Yeah. Like
it's hard to describe.
Like they do have some kid friendly shows, and of course you have your rides and things like that that kids can do. But I definitely think the overall vibe is more of a dress up, look nice, and you're coming to experience some of the more finer things in life.
It
so
feels like when I look at this party, either in person or on pictures, it feels like the creators of this party were millennials and said, we're millennials. What do we want a theme park Christmas party to look like? And they did it.
Yeah.
They did it here in this
Yeah.
park.
Like they have different little sections of the park that are set up for like bars and different drinks, different snacks.
There's multiple different dancing places. There's like a Latin Christmas dance party. There's a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick one to go to without getting too in depth into these parties, if you have a family and you have little kids, the Magic Kingdom one's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
If you're like two adults, maybe Jollywood Nights might be your pick if you had to pick one or the other.
Or if you are a family with just adult children, like if it's
teenage children.
Yeah. Like I would say maybe 14 and up is what I would say, because any younger, like the kids are going to just be like, oh, this is boring. This is
the shows are quite long too.
Yeah. So just for your own reference.
Anyway, I know we sidetracked there on the parties a little bit, but wanted to mention that they also have a party.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go to it next year. We'll see what happens.
So in addition to all the other decor, they also have a projection show, which is on the Hollywood Tower of Terror ride. And
like it's displayed on the building of the ride. Like you don't have to go on the ride to see the show.
Oh God. If I had to go on the ride to see the show, you would never see me on there.
So a Hollywood Tower Hotel, or the Tower of Terror, is at the end of Sunset Boulevard. So the projection display that happens, it's called Sunset Seasons Greetings.
Yes.
And similar to the Tree of Life Awakenings, they have a few different versions of their animations that they're projecting onto the tower. And there's music, and they have Snoke that goes along with it. It's fun to just sit there and see what happens.
And some of the show projections include like Toy Story, the Muppets.
Yeah. Things that are Christmas related.
So it's really cute. Definitely worth a little stop and see thing.
Overall, Christmas decorations at Hollywood Studios, 10 out of 10. Really enjoy it.
Yep.
Again, you can add more. I don't think anyone would be disappointed.
Yeah.
They did have one overlay. I know we mentioned the Slinky Dog Dash had a little bit of an overlay, but this one actually isn't a ride. It's the For the First Time in Forever Frozen Sing Along. And now this one's fun because Frozen is winter and snow and ice. And so it invokes, the cold season and whatnot. But what they do is add an additional 5 minutes onto the show based on the animated short called Olaf's Holiday Adventure.
I think it's called Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
Olaf's Frozen Adventure. Whatever it is. Something with Olaf.
Yes.
But if you're familiar with that animated short, it's not really an animated short, it's just a holiday special for them. We really enjoy that one. They kind of add that on to the end with a couple of the songs and just make it Christmas time for that show. So it's really fun. That show is an 11 out of 10 show in general. Especially
the storytellers.
Especially if you get particular actors on that stage that are just perfect for the role.
I literally cry laughing almost every single time that I go into that show. It is so good, so funny.
As I saw somebody online say, this is probably the most unhinged show at Disney World. Makes sense.
Yeah, as unhinged as you can get for a kid's show, I guess.
Exactly. But no, that's a good one. Everyone should make the time to see that. Even if you're not a Frozen fan, I think you would find it funny.
Yeah, because they do make like some jokes about Frozen and the characters and stuff like that. And they
try to stay relevant.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say some of the jokes that they said this time because I don't want to put that out into the world, but all the kids are saying it nowadays. Yeah. And you can imagine.
2 particular numbers.
Yes. Anyway, last but not least at Hollywood Studios, we couldn't leave without trying some of the sweet treats.
Oh, yes.
And so, again, they had a few offerings there that were offered all the time, not during the party. The party had its own menus, but these were offered during regular business hours. And we tried 3 of them. The first one we actually had last year, and we couldn't remember the taste exactly, so we had to get it again.
Yeah.
It was from Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land, and it was the hot chocolate Pop-Tart. So you might be like, Pop-Tart? What? No, but these are really good.
Yeah, it's like quote-unquote homemade shortbread.
It's a homemade Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Imagine if Pop-Tart actually made like really good Pop-Tarts. No offense to Pop-Tarts, but like, there's a difference between being made in a kitchen from scratch versus making it in a factory.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this one's really good. Nice and chocolatey. Because it is hot chocolate, it has a little bit different chocolate flavor. But these homemade Pop-Tarts from Woody's Lunchbox are always really good. And they always have different flavors. They change it up.
Yep.
It's fun to try. Any thoughts on that one?
You pretty much hit it on the head. I enjoyed this one. It's not my favorite flavor that they have ever offered, but it's a good like chocolate. It had like the marshmallows on top with like some sprinkles and very festive look. But for a classic chocolate Pop-Tart, no complaints. Definitely not as like sweet as your traditional Pop-Tarts, but still very good. The next thing that we got was from ABC Commissary, and this was the Linzer Cookie Mousse Torte. So it had layers of hazelnut cake, raspberry blackcurrant mousse, raspberry jam, and sweet snow-dusted Linzer cookie on top. Oh my gosh, this one was so good. And I have now found a love for Linzer cookies. I feel like when I was a kid, I never really loved jam or like fruit in my desserts.
I can see that it's like an adult flavor cookie in a way. Because when you're a kid, you want like chocolate and like sweet and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So this one's, Linzer cookies are good.
So yeah, I now have an appreciation for a Linzer cookie or Linzer type dessert, and this was so good. It was the perfect amount of sweetness with like the buttery texture of the cookie and the fruitiness of the mousse and creaminess of the mousse. It was just overall amazing. Oh, and the hazelnut cake was good too.
This wasn't a cookie at all.
No.
It had like the shell of the cookie, but inside was like a tart.
Yeah.
Or a tort, as they say.
Yeah.
This one was, when I took the first bite, I was like, oh, this was actually refreshing.
Yeah.
It's not like heavy and heavy feeling. You know how if you have like multiple chocolate desserts, it's kind of like, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah, like I need something either savory or salty to kind of balance
Yeah,
this
or
out.
like fresh and fruity. This
Mm-hmm.
kind of gives you that fresh, fruity flavor while still being a nice holiday treat. I really
Mm-hmm.
like this one. I hope they bring this one back.
Yeah, I agree.
The last thing we tried was another gingerbread cookie. This was from the Trolley Car Cafe, which is a Starbucks location in Hollywood Studios. This is a Mickey gingerbread cookie shaped like Mickey, had decorations on it that look like Mickey face and whatnot. This one was actually really good from being from a Starbucks location.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed this one, I think, a little bit more than you did. This one was more like chewy and moist
Yeah.
than the ones we've had.
Yeah, I will agree that this one was more moist or the moistest one that we had.
Out of the three that we've talked about
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
No, this one was really good. I would go back and get this again. This one for me was better than the Main Street Confectionery. So in order right now, the Animal Kingdom one is at the bottom, the Main Street Confectionery, and then this one is ranked above that just because
Yes.
of the moist factor to it. I like the gingerbread more like that.
Not
But
to
overall,
not to
good
get
classic gingerbread.
too off topic again, but all of my comparisons are based off of the Grand Californians gingerbread cookie Mickey shaped one that they have out there, where that one was top tier.
That one was so good,
Oh
and
my
just can
gosh.
have 5 minutes of conversation just talking
I
about
know.
that one. But,
But that's what I'm comparing all of these to.
yeah,
So in
you got,
my
like,
brain, I'm like, is this as good as that one? No.
like
But
you know what can be done. Like you're
yeah,
like, they did it, so why
yeah,
can't you do it? And so you're kind
exactly.
of like, come on, y'all, it's not hard.
No,
Like,
so that's where my brain always goes.
yeah,
So when I say like it wasn't good in my opinion, that's what I'm comparing it to. And so you might think I'm a hater on gingerbread, but I'm not. I just
no, I know you're not a
compare
hater
it.
on gingerbread, but also people have to, if they're listening to this, the kind of gingerbread we like is probably not as traditional of a gingerbread as like you would find in Germany.
Hmm.
Because I've had some that is like, this is real gingerbread, and I'm like, this is too earthy
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
and I want a little bit more sweetness to it. So
We
for
definitely are more Americanized when it
yeah,
comes to our gingerbread profile.
but everyone has their own taste. That's what we prefer, even if it might not be the classic gingerbread. If they're calling it a gingerbread cookie, I'm gonna try it,
Yeah.
and we'll see what we think.
But this one was very good. I would rank them very much like you did.
Yeah, I think that wraps up Hollywood Studios,
Yeah.
and now I think we want to talk about Epcot
Whew. That
for
is
Festival of the Holidays.
a lot of food in this one. But for time purposes, we're only going to talk about the top tier 5 out of 5 stars and just kind of warn you guys about the 0 out of 5 put it in the trash food items.
For me, Epcot Festival of the Holidays is my favorite festival that Epcot has. So if you're not familiar, Epcot has 4 different festivals. Festival of the Holidays generally starts right after Thanksgiving and goes to like the very end of December. I think it stops right before New Year's Eve because they transform that park for New Year's. So it's a shorter festival, but it's my favorite. Reasons for it being my favorite, not only the food and all the holiday treats that they offer, but the entertainment offerings that they have
Yes.
that are a little bit different than the other festivals. So you get quite a bit of holiday entertainment throughout the World Showcase
without having to pay for a separated ticketed event.
Correct.
Which is nice. It's all included in your park ticket.
But before we get into that, I think we want to touch base on the decor a little bit around Epcot.
Yeah.
I really like their Christmas tree. Their
Yeah.
Christmas tree is right at the main entrance of the World Showcase. So you got to get inside the park, get about halfway in, and you'll see the Christmas tree. It's very large, tall, and it has like giant snow globes in the tree displaying the different countries around the World Showcase. It's a good photo op tree because it's in a big open area.
Yeah.
And if you get in the right location, you can get like Spaceship Earth lit up in the background. It's just a good tree.
Yeah, this tree is one of my favorites. I love the showcasing of the different countries and just the overall look of it. It's very pretty and very picturesque.
And then speaking of Spaceship Earth has these lights all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And during the different times of the year, they can do different effects. And obviously, they take advantage and do the holiday effects during the holiday season. And so
Mm-hmm.
its general look is like a peppermint, like red
Yeah.
and white. They also will change it over to like green and white. So it's like green and white swirled stripes.
Mm-hmm.
So like a little peppermint ball. And then every few minutes or so, not sure the time frame, but you'll see the lights go out, and then they'll do like a little show based off of Frozen or the Muppets or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's,
Little light show.
yeah, with music in the background or whatnot. So you can stand and
Mm-hmm.
watch that for a minute.
Yeah.
Which is always a little fun addition.
And it's nice because you can stop wherever you are in the park and watch it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be right there next to it. You can be.
Now, if you're across the park in Japan, you won't be able to hear what's going on.
Right, but you can see the little light display and stuff like that. But it's very pretty.
And of course, when you're walking around the World Showcase, not only are you eating all the little snacks and stuff, but most of the countries have holiday decorations. So that's fun. I think one of my favorites, this is hard, but like Germany for decorations always looks the best because like I feel like Germany, like it's like that classic quintessential Christmas look. And so they do a good job with
Well, they
like the
also have like the
garlic.
Christmas markets in Germany and
Yeah.
stuff, and all throughout the Europe area. I would say the UK area is probably one of my favorite areas for holiday decor, just because they decorate the light posts with garland, and they actually put ornaments in it, and it's very pretty.
France also does a good job too.
They do too.
I like France's decorations. Now, this park does have a couple different ride/show overlays, which is nice. Like Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, how they had a separately ticketed party. There's no separate ticket party for this. It's just Festival of the Holidays. Come and enjoy. One little mention is Journey into Imagination with Figment. It's not really a whole ride overlay, but one of the parts where the Figment animatronic pops out, he's wearing a Christmas sweater and a Christmas hat, and you can actually buy that sweater. They did a smart thing. Last year they made that sweater for sale. I used to see people wearing it everywhere. So that's a little, if you want to do everything Christmassy, you got to go on it technically.
But I do think their main attraction is the Living with the Land glimmering greenhouses overlay. That is gorgeous. Like, I don't even need to drive around and see Christmas lights. I just need to ride that ride.
Yeah, that's a good one. They try to change up the, overlay that they have for the different time of the year, and they go overboard with holiday lights, which is really fun. The only thing annoying about that ride during this time of year is that all the annual pass holders also want to ride the ride.
Yeah.
And so instead of a 10-minute wait that this ride normally has, we waited 40 minutes when we rode. I've seen it up to 70. It's like,
I've seen it up to 85.
It's Living with the Land, but with lights. And of course, everybody waits until the sun goes down so you can actually see the lights because you're in a greenhouse. But it's worth it. If you want to see Christmas lights, it's good.
I probably wouldn't wait more than an hour, though.
No. 40 minutes was probably the top. Yeah, any more than that would be like, I'll come back.
But I will say also in that ride, they do have different displays of various holiday things, like cookie displays and different spice displays.
Yeah, they're like, we use this.
Yeah, their little
plants,
voiceover will talk about the different ingredients that are used and how they're used in different holiday desserts and cooking and things like that, which is kind of cool. So they not only give you the lights, but they also change the talking voiceover piece, which is nice.
Now, one of my favorite things about the Festival of the Holidays is, I alluded to it earlier, is the entertainment offerings, the multitude of entertainment offerings they have throughout the park, especially the storytellers in the different countries. Now, not every country has a storyteller, but the majority of them do. So, for example, you can find storytellers in Mexico and Italy and Germany and France, UK. Even they bring in a Hanukkah storyteller. But these are really fun to see. Last year, I know we made it a point to go see all of them. We had the availability and time to do it. We weren't able to see all of them this year, but we did see a new one. I think they do a new storyteller every year pretty much for Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was really cool. It was like about puppets. Pretty funny,
Yeah,
actually.
and like the different like advent calendar and various holiday characters like Krampus and the Tooth Fairy, I want to say
The Tooth
is
Fairy was there. Easter Bunny was there.
yeah.
There was like an elf. Go see the German storyteller and look out for Krampus.
Yeah.
It's funny, but they all do a really good job telling like a shortened version of traditions in that country. So like Mexico does a lot of like dancing and music, and they talk about food and the gatherings that they have with family and friends. And
Mm-hmm.
Italy is La Bufana. Oh, I forgot about Norway. I
Mm-hmm.
would say Norway is probably my favorite storyteller,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Barn Santa.
Yeah.
That
I
one's so fun
I
because
love the story behind that one.
I like the comedy behind it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's good.
The barn Santa is really cute because you're supposed to leave out porridge in your
Mhm.
barn for him to eat, whereas in America we leave out cookies and milk.
Yeah.
So the little change up to traditions is what you're gonna hear. And I love Père Noël, who's the France one, and Father Christmas, who's the UK one.
Mhm.
Those I would say are my two favorites, primarily because French was the language I learned in high school and I stuck with it in college. So I know some of the words. Don't ask me to speak it fluently or anything, but I know some vocab words. And then Father Christmas in UK, we had a really good storyteller last year.
But our encounter was a little bit different just because there was a audience interaction
Yeah.
that was funny. We won't go into depth because it would be hard to explain. You just had to be there for it.
Yeah, it was a really cute
Now that one
experience.
I know we mentioned a minute ago, but if you're not familiar with the story of Hanukkah, going and listening to the Hanukkah storyteller is actually very informational because there were
Mm-hmm.
some things I didn't know.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
have a menorah and they light the candles for each night during Hanukkah. So it's really fun to see. And
Yeah.
then I think the big one is at
Mm-hmm.
the America Pavilion. This is the candlelight processional at the America Pavilion. And this one's really cool. The whole purpose of it is to tell the traditional story of Christmas. And they do a really good job with it. They for one bring in a celebrity narrator to read the story and narrate the process. But then they have a large choir back there, which is amazing singers. And then they have a live orchestra. It's really cool.
It's like a whole production.
And I mean, it's a 30-minute show, or take a few minutes. And there's many people that make a tradition out of it. They come to EPCOT, they eat dinner, and then they go see that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Christmas tradition for them.
And of course, some of the celebrities tend to be more popular than others. So you might want to get in line sooner, depending on if you go on certain days.
Like this year, they had Jordan Fisher, which is a popular singer. They had Ashley Eckstein, which is the voice of Ahsoka in the animated series. They had Gary Sinise, which is Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. So, just like the concerts that they bring in for the other festivals, they bring in a celebrity narrator.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a top tier recommendation. You must do candlelight processional if you're there.
Even I would say, so since it is more along the traditional Christmas story with the religious side to it, even if you are not a religious person or don't practice that type of stuff, I think it's still maybe worth just seeing the overall production of it.
It's one of those productions that you can tell that Disney puts a lot of thought and effort into.
Yeah.
And it's so popular that they even do one out in Disneyland. But yeah, oh my gosh, I almost forgot about one of the best entertainment offerings is Joyful.
Yeah.
I always forget that there's stuff not in World Showcase too, but this one happens in the Communicore Plaza area, and it's called Joyful, and it's a celebration of Kwanzaa and Christmas, and they basically have like a gospel group, and they're very energetic and very entertaining.
They are great.
Yeah,
when we saw them last year, it was fantastic. Like people were up and dancing in front of the stage to the songs.
It's a good energetic show and very lively. They do a good job, and props to them. They're out there every day and they have like 4 or 5 shows
Mm-hmm.
and they're going hard. Another little overlay that they do, I know we're kind of backtracking a little bit, but again, at the America Pavilion, the singers inside, they will dress up a little different and then they sing holiday tunes.
Oh yeah, what is it called? The Bells of Liberty or something?
I'm having trouble remembering the exact name, but I think that's it. They'll put on like old England style clothing and
Mm-hmm.
like look like carolers, like
Mm-hmm.
the hoop skirts and the old suits and top hats and things like that. And
Yeah.
again, fabulous musicians right there.
Yeah. So I think that about covers the entertainment side.
Correct. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on there, and we might be missing a couple, but we touched on a lot of the things that we remember.
Yeah.
And of course, one of our favorite things at the festival is to try all the different food. But again, like you said earlier, we're going to touch on some of our favorites and some of our maybe stay away from.
So do you want to get started with the Mexico booth?
So, one of our favorites this year was actually all of the Mexico booth. I know we were going to talk about different items, but these were all top tier. Mexico always does a good job. But the booth is called Las Posadas Holiday Kitchen, located in Mexico. But the first item that we got was tostada de carne. This is braised Mexican style beef tips on top of a fried corn tortilla with black beans, crispy onions, and queso fresco. This one was so good. We actually got this twice. The first time we split it, and the second time we got a repeat item and we got our own. It's got a nice smoky barbecue flavor to it, and just the beef is very tender and so flavorful, and the tostada is nice and crispy. It's just all the flavors there work together. Crispy onions on top add a little flavor to it. Really enjoyed this one. This was top tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one was really good. I think, honestly, my favorite thing on this was the crispy onions, and I'm not a big onion person, so it was really good.
I will say before I move on to the next one, all of these favorites that we're listing are a 5 out of 5 for us.
Yeah.
So we don't have to give you guys a rating for each one. You already know all of these that we're listing right now are 5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend.
Yes.
Our next one that we got from Mexico was the tamal de pollo con mole. This is shredded chicken and mole in a corn masa topped with mole negro, queso fresco, crema mexicana, slivered almonds, and sesame seeds. And that was a lot of words, but basically it was a chicken tamale with mole sauce. Obviously more added to that, like I said earlier. But if you are a fan of mole sauce, you will love this.
Yeah, this was really good. This was another one that we split at first and then we went back a second time and each got our own.
Mm-hmm. And you're not a big almond fan.
And I am not a big almond fan. So to get my own items of both the tamale and the tostada should say a lot.
But you love tamales.
I do love tamales. Tamales are probably one of my favorite Mexican food.
There's something comforting about that cornmeal.
It is.
It's so good. The next thing that we got was a dessert item from the Mexico booth, was the dulce de leche churro with cinnamon sugar. And I was skeptical about this one
because churros can be hit or miss.
It can be, especially Disney World churros. If you know what we're talking about, you know Disneyland has superior churros. For some reason, why we can't do it over here, I don't know. So I was like, I want to give it a try because it's new. But basically, it was a churro, and inside they injected dulce de leche in it. So the dulce de leche was throughout, except for the very end caps.
Yeah.
Or was it? But our churro, was nicely covered with the cinnamon sugar, and it was served warm. This wouldn't be as good as it was if it wasn't warm.
Correct.
And once you got into the bite with the dulce de leche, I was like, perfect.
If you want to think about, I know this is an awful comparison, but to me, it reminded me a little bit of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, but throw in a little bit of caramel and warm it up. I don't know what it is about it, but it was so good.
I see where you're coming from, but way better than that.
Oh yeah, no, way better. But I'm just saying it definitely reminded me of that cinnamon sugar vibe with then throw in some caramel dulce de leches sauce that just kind of soaked into the churro. Man, if I had the stomach space, I would have gotten a second one of these. for myself. Like,
Yeah, it was really good.
it was really good, but unfortunately, I was packed to the brim with other food.
Or we're saving space for other
Yes.
food. Last but not least, from the Mexico booth was the Chai Amazing Margarita. As it states in the name, it was a chai-infused Dolce Vita tequila blanco, apple ginger juice, and chai liqueur. Now, this was an adult beverage that you partake in.
Yeah, this is mostly what I drink. And if you are a fan of chai flavored things or chai lattes, chai tea, this is right up your alley. But it was really good. I loved it. And so the next place that we love was the Germany booth.
Again, all the food items were 5
Hits.
out of 5.
Amazing. So their Germany booth is called the Bavaria Holiday Kitchen. And from this booth, we got the pork schnitzel. I feel like I can't say schnitzel without having a slight like German accent. Throwing in there, but it's the pork schnitzel with mushroom sauce, spatzel, and braised red cabbage. And this, oh my gosh, the crispiness of the pork schnitzel with the salty mushroom sauce and the cabbage brings a little brininess to it. And then the spatzel underneath, just it's so good.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
a really good dish. Make sure when you get this one, you eat it as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Because the pork, especially if it's a cooler night and it cools down, might not be as flavorful as you want.
Yeah.
So eat that right off the grill.
Might get a little bit stiff too.
Yeah. But flavors are amazing on that one. Now the next one.
Is, oh my gosh. If I could literally live off of this, I would. This is the cheese fondue in a bread bowl. So basically what it states, it's cheese in a bread bowl with steamed baby veggies and marbled potatoes.
But there's something about the cheese that's different. Obviously, I'm thinking it's some kind of German cheese. I'm not sure what kind of cheese it is, but they hollow out a piece
like
of
a
bread,
small baguette,
and they pour the cheese in it, and it's not too thick, it's not runny, it's a perfect consistency, and it's just like there's something comforting.
Just let me bathe in it.
Oh my
God,
it's
so good.
We each got one of our own for this, and might have been a mistake because it's a lot of bread, but
it's definitely more filling, but so worth it.
But the veggies that they give you are nice and tender. They cook the veg; they're not raw veggies. So like boiled potatoes, just you dunk it in the cheese, and it's so good.
And then you get like you get the bread that they've hollowed out too.
But one of my favorite parts about that is when you're done with that,
you eat the bread bowl.
You eat the bread because the cheese is soaked into the bread bowl.
I know. If you throw away your bread bowl after getting anything with stuff inside of it, you're missing out.
I called somebody out. I was like, "You're throwing away the best part." They're like, "I don't have any room."
Well, you got to make room because it's so good. And then the last thing that we got there was the hazelnut Linzer cookie with raspberry jam, and slaps every time. That
cookie is so buttery and so like, how do you describe a crunchy cookie being like tender? Like, I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah.
Like just like soft and delicate, but still like
has
crunchy.
Substance. Yeah.
And it's coated in the powdered sugar, and it's just a perfect consistency and combination for a Linzer cookie. 5 out of 5. Yeah. My gosh.
It was so good.
All right. So our next favorite of the fest was from the American Holiday Table, obviously at the America Pavilion. This was the chocolate cookie featuring Snickers bar pieces and salted caramel. And when we first got it, we were like, okay, we'll have a goal to try all the different cookies around EPCOT. And this was one of them. And, you know, chocolate cookie with Snickers doesn't sound too unique because they're using like Snickers on it. But when I tell you the best cookie, for me, the best cookie at the fest, hands down. So good. The chocolate cookie is like perfect, soft, gooey, dense, and then the caramel on top. I mean, the Snickers was there, but
it didn't make it.
It didn't like add anything to it. It added a little bit of like, you know, the Snickers pieces, but when you got a bite of the caramel and the chocolate cookie together, I was like, oh. Again, this was one that we split at first. And then this was one of my repeats that I had to get. I got it all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not a big caramel fan, so I think this is why this one isn't your favorite, but you
Yeah.
still gave it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I still really enjoyed it. I didn't love the Snickers pieces, just not my thing, not my favorite candy or anything, but the cookie itself was really good.
Yeah, if I could go like buy that cookie somewhere often, I would eat way too much.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, but speaking of cookies, real quick before we move to the next item, during the festival they have a cookie stroll.
Mm-hmm.
So this year they had 13 different cookies, and if you purchase 5 of the cookies, could be all the same cookie, could be different cookies. You get a stamp for each one, and at the end you get a completer prize. And this year it was a like baking spatula with the EPCOT Festival of the Holidays logo on it.
Yep.
To say we ate so many cookies, I think we could have fulfilled the thing 3 times.
Yeah.
But we only did it once. We don't need 3 spatulas.
No.
But that's how many cookies we ate.
Yep.
Throughout the fest.
Embarrassing.
Obviously, all of them weren't our favorites, so we're not talking about all of them here, but we're talking about our top tier.
A few were top tier.
It was funny after we finished doing the stroll, when we were checking out and getting the cookies, either again or new ones. They were like, "Oh, are you doing the cookie stroll?" Like, no, we've done it like 3 times already. And they'd be like, "Oh."
Judgment faces.
And then we go, "Oh, which one's your favorite?" That would be the next comment. You've tried all of them?
Yeah. So moving on to another favorite. This is something that I gave a 5 out of 5 because I was the only one who tried it. But from the France booth, we got their version of the mulled wine. And so it was flavored with orange and cinnamon spices, and it's also served warm. And when I tell you, this was my first time, 1, trying mulled wine. So I went in kind of like not knowing. And 2, this was so good. I loved the warm spices, and I think my favorite thing about this was that it was served or prepared or warmed up in a like almost like a Dutch oven big container thing rather than one of those little like spigot like
it was in a pot
things
on top of a stove, basically.
Yeah, so like they were literally ladling it out for you rather than just pressing a little button and it coming out of a bag or something. This just was so good. I am sure there is other mulled wine that is probably better in Europe and things like that, but it was really good.
I will say, obviously, I didn't partake in this, but it smelled really good.
Yeah. It definitely brought the Christmas vibes.
Yeah, it was like a wafting smell, like 25 feet away from the booth. You could smell, and you're kind of like, "Oh, let's walk that way."
Yeah. So it was really good. 5 out of 5. Loved it. The next booth is the Yukon Holiday Kitchen. And again, this is something that I gave 5 out of 5 just because it's seafood. You didn't really try it, but it was the seared salmon with butternut.
I saw the food.
Ha 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 ha. Anyways, it was the seared salmon with butternut squash puree, maple bourbon glaze, and fennel arugula salad. This I got twice this festival. It was amazing.
You remembered it from last year.
I do. I did. I remembered it from last year. The salmon cooked perfectly. The second time I got it, it was a little bit more saltier than I had gotten in the past, but the butternut squash puree makes it like a little bit sweeter. You get the salad that kind of brings some greenery to it, and just overall a perfect combination of texture, taste, and flavor. Amazing. That's pretty much my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, smelled good, but not a fish eater.
Yeah.
Our next favorite was from the booth Noche Buena Cocina, and we got the pan de jamon. This is traditional Latin Christmas bread, rolled ham, raisins, and green olives. When I first saw this, I was like, do I want to like spend my money on this? And I was like, it's new. I've never had this before. I've always seen it other places. I'll give it a whirl. And when I tell you it was really good, it was really good. Like, you don't think like this is going to be anything to write home about, but you can't go wrong with melted cheese and ham, and the bread was a little sweetness. and the raisins and the olives just added a little bit of punch to it. It was so good. Like, it was
Mm-hmm.
shocking. I got this twice. We split it the first time,
Yeah.
and I got one all by myself again.
And really, I only had like 2 or 3 bites of the first time because I was already pretty
Yeah.
full.
It
So,
it was so good. And again, it doesn't sound like much, but I was really pleasantly surprised by this one. Now, the next one is a favorite from last year, is the cinnamon spice chocolate crinkle cookie. I know this
this is
is,
my favorite cookie.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is like chewy, and then they have like a hardened icing on top that has cinnamon in it. Like, it's just when you think of like a Christmas cookie, for me, this is it.
If I was Santa and you left me out that cookie, I would give you extra toys.
Yeah, this is perfect, like chewy, soft. Like, you get a little bit of the cinnamon spice, clove kind of spice to it, but it's primarily chocolate with icing.
This one is second in line for me. Like, I know I said the Snickers cookie from earlier is top. This is right below it. It
Hmm.
is still so good. When we initially got it, we were walking up, we were like, we're each getting our own.
Oh, yeah, there was
Yeah.
no question, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Nope. You get your own. We already knew. It was so good. But anyway, love those items from that booth. Up next was the favorites of festival past. That's a mouthful. Now, this is a booth that traditionally has some fan favorites from prior Festival of the Holidays. And there were two of my favorites from this booth I absolutely loved. The first one was the Reuben croquettes. This was with pastrami, sauerkraut, and Swiss cheese with Thousand Island dipping sauce. When I tell you this doesn't sound like much, you're right, but it is a perfect combination of all those, perfectly fried.
Mm,
And like, I think I told you each time I got it, I ended up getting it twice. I could like sit down and eat like a dozen of these.
yeah,
They're
they're very
bite
poppable.
size. Yeah, poppable. I could see these being super popular at like a bar for like bar food. Just so good. Just
Hmm.
like, you want a nice easy snack that's delicious, you go for that. But
Hmm.
then the next one was probably my most surprising, that I was like, I'm not going to like this, but I'm going to give it a go anyway, was the panettone holiday trifle. This was with eggnog custard topped with cranberry cherry compote and sugared almonds. Now, the reason why I didn't think I was going to like it was a trifle cake with eggnog custard. I was like,
Eh.
I saw people eating it. It looked good. And I was like, well, people must like it. They're getting it.
Hmm.
And so I got it for myself. And when I took the first bite, unexpected,
Hmm.
it was so good. I don't like eggnog. There was no eggnog flavor in this to me. It almost tasted like gingerbread in a
Hmm.
way. There was the cake in it that was super moist, and those cranberries that were on it were cold and tart, and the sugared almonds just added extra sugariness to it. If you could get a spoonful of everything in one bite, it was perfect. I would have liked to got a second one, but we just didn't have time and the stomach room to get it. But that one was really good. Don't skip on it just because it says eggnog custard. I think a lot of people skip on it because of that, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised
Hmm.
if you try it.
So the last item on our favorites list was from the experimental prototype cookies of tomorrow. And for me, this was a 5 out of 5. It was the ginger molasses cookie with cream cheese icing. So I want to like, I'm again, this is going to be a terrible comparison, but you think of those like sugar cookies with like the icing on top, but make it gingerbread, molasses, and homemade. Like, to me,
It's a completely different cookie,
I
though.
know, but that's the best way I could describe it because, like, that's, I guess, more so for like the looks of it.
Okay.
I think it's more the look.
Forget the taste,
Just it looks like one of those cookies that you would get from like the store.
and it really doesn't.
You know, whatever. It looked like it to me. But
I
no,
see the resemblance. How could remind you of that?
anyways. So the overall flavor palette was really good. It was basically a gingerbread cookie. To me, it tasted like a gingerbread cookie, but with the icing on top. And I would say this was the most like the gingerbread cookie in Disneyland for me.
Mm, I
Maybe not quite there as far as like I don't know, chewiness and moistness. But
I would have to disagree with that. I don't think this is anything like the Disneyland gingerbread cookie. This wasn't a favorite of mine. This was more of a favorite of yours. Now, it was high rankings for me. I would say 4 out of 5. It was very, very sweet.
yeah,
The icing on top made it very, very sweet. And I got a bite of the cookie without the icing. It is definitely not a gingerbread cookie because it has a dark flavor from molasses
right.
to it. Now, the molasses isn't super heavy like a true molasses cookie would be, but it still has that like dark, rich flavor from the molasses. Doesn't compare for me like the Disneyland one, but it was decent. Again, not top tier for me, but it was just a little sweet.
Yeah, I definitely think this is one to split. I probably wouldn't get one on my own, but I really liked it. I thought it was probably second favorite for me as far as cookies go.
Even
Yeah,
above the America cookie.
even above the America cookie because
Hater.
I know. Listen, we can agree to disagree. We don't have to be the same on everything.
Anyway, that is all of our favorites, like our 5 out of 5s that
hmm
we rated. Again, we tried almost everything at this festival
Yeah.
between this year, and there were a couple items that we tried last year, but there were actually only 2 items that ended up on our trash list,
Yeah.
meaning throw it right in the trash.
Do not
Like,
get
don't
this.
even get it. Get it and then throw it right in the trash.
Yeah.
Don't even take a bite. Just say, Disney, I'm going to buy this.
Waste the money.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I want you to buy this item, then look at the cast member and dump it in the trash right in front. That's what you need to do
Yeah.
for these 2 items. But anyway, the first one, this was disappointing. This is from the Laheim Holiday Kitchen. This was the Mickey shaped almond black and white cookie.
But
I will preface, we love black and white cookies.
Yes.
Me and you both really like them.
Because also last year's black and white cookie was not Mickey shaped.
And that's what I was going to
and
say.
It was literally my favorite cookie.
Last year it was round and it was very good,
Very
like Courtney
soft.
said. And this year, when we took our first bite, I was like, nope. And I took a second bite and I said, this is made in a factory and sent to Disney.
Yeah.
And I think because it is Mickey shaped, it was easier to get a factory to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It was very heavily flavored of artificial almond.
Yeah.
Which didn't make it good. It was dry.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't soft. The black and white icing on top didn't really have much flavoring to it.
No.
It was overall just very disappointing.
It was very sad.
People obviously were getting it for pictures and it was Mickey shaped and people were fans of black and white cookies, but it was just, it sucked.
Yeah.
And I hope Disney got the message because I didn't talk to a single person or hear a single person online say that they liked it. Disney, go back to making it yourself or whatever you were doing with it before because this was not good.
No, awful. And the last item on our trash list was from Swirled Showcase. It was the liquid nitrogen chocolate peppermint mousse. And comparatively, speaking, you had the mousse from the Food and Wine Festival that you love. That was like one of your favorite things. And the liquid nitrogen mousse this time was just way too pepperminty.
And now, if you guys remember, we talked about earlier how I'm not a big peppermint person.
Yeah.
But I love chocolate. And if you put a little bit of peppermint in there,
right,
it's fine. I talked to some people that had it before we got it, and they were like, the only parts that are peppermint are these like red icing strings that are on top. They said the mousse itself is just chocolate. I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can deal with that.
Yeah.
We got it. It's new. I wanted to try it. And I've been a fan of all their liquid nitrogen desserts that they've had prior to this. Last year, they had a chocolate cake pop. And this year, they decided to go with this nitrogen mousse. When we got it, it looks very festive. It's the chocolate mousse, in the liquid nitrogen. So it's kind of like hard and crunchy and soft on the inside. And then it's like red icing that's like peppermint icing kind of drizzled on top.
Yeah.
And then there were what we thought were just regular M&Ms.
Yeah.
And then when I took the first bite, realized, and I didn't even know M&Ms made peppermint M&Ms.
Yeah.
So it was very pepperminty M&Ms.
Yeah.
And then you had the icing. And then it just overpowered the chocolate.
Yeah, there was literally no chocolate flavor. Because the liquid nitrogen made the mousse cold, it then enhanced the peppermint
It was then like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Like it was like
Like it
toothpaste.
elevated that peppermint flavor.
And I was like, okay, I kind of got the pepperminty flavor out of my mouth for a minute. I was like, I want to just like push all that aside and try the mousse. And I tried the mousse and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like
there was no chocolate.
Like, there was no, where I was like, where's the chocolate flavor?
Yeah.
And when I ate a couple more bites of it, didn't eat all of it, ended up throwing it most of it in the trash. I turned to you and I said, you know what that chocolate tastes like? It tastes like a really cold chocolate snack pack pudding. And again, I think the snack pack pudding has more chocolate flavor to it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, this is chocolate mousse. Like it's supposed to be like
rich chocolates. Yeah.
Super disappointing.
Yeah. This one, like Charlie said, we straight up threw it in the trash.
I think we ate half of it. I was even trying to pawn it off on you. I was like, can you eat a little bit more of this? And
no, I had like 2 bites, and me as someone who does not mind peppermint in my desserts, I was like, no, this is way too much peppermint. Like it was awful. Straight to the garbage.
That back next year.
Yeah, they definitely need to change it up for next year for sure.
Anyway,
so
real quick,
yeah,
what was your number one favorite item from this festival? Can be sweet, can be savory, doesn't matter, but your number one.
Number one favorite item would have to be, I don't want to think on it too hard because I just want to go with my gut reaction. Gut reaction is the crinkle cookie.
Really? For some reason, I thought you were going to say the mulled wine.
That is a very close second. Honestly, if I could do the crinkle cookie with the mulled wine as like a little like,
there you go,
drink and snack combo, that would be the perfect thing for me. But what about you?
The cheese fondue.
Oh, yeah.
I got to go with the cheese fondue. Please don't ever get rid of this.
I know.
It's so good. I'll go back and get one myself every year. But it's just so good. 11 out of 10. 200% recommend.
Yeah.
Get this. I don't care if you don't like bread.
If you're lactose intolerant, take a Lactaid.
You're lactose intolerant, you're getting it. If you have a gluten intolerance, get it.
If you have celiac disease, get it. No, I'm kidding. Don't get it if you have celiac disease.
You know, it could be worth it if you want to take chances.
Yeah.
We didn't tell you to. Anyway, so the cookie was your favorite.
Cookie with the mulled wine as a complimentary drink.
I'm going to take the Snickers cookie and dip it in my cheese.
Oh, God. That would be a flavor.
Oh, favorite park during the holidays. If you're like, okay, you can only go one place. And it doesn't even have to be like, because there's food, snacks, rider village. Just like, I want to go
and get the vibe of Christmas. Honestly, I feel like I get more of a Christmas vibe at Hollywood Studios, but I do get that nostalgic, like, okay, Christmas is starting now at Magic Kingdom. Like, I don't know. I'm torn between the two.
You can be torn between the two. I'm going to be a little bit different and say Epcot.
Yeah. Just for the food.
No, I think you can go and get like a lot of different stories and entertainment, especially if you can see all of them. I think you can walk away and be like, wow, you know, Christmas time all over the world. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it just is nice to be exposed to all that, the new cultures and traditions and how they do things for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for today's conversation. But in the meantime, if you agree with anything that we said or disagree with anything that you said, let us know in the comments below. Maybe you thought the Mickey shaped black and white cookie was good. I don't know.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong. I'm sorry to say. But as always, you can check out all of our episodes on Spotify and YouTube. We also post almost every day on our social media channels on Instagram and Facebook. So go give those a like and a follow. You guys know what to do. And until next time, dine boldly, dream freely, and remember, there's no one to tell us no. Happy holidays.
Bye, guys.